Good morning, children. I hope you all are fine. Today, for our English, we're going to learn a new lesson. The topic of the lesson: The Tale of Peter Rabbits. This is your lesson number 7. Tale means the story. Okay, shall we read the story? Once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits. Their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. So, 4. They lived with their mother in a sand bank, underneath the root of a very big fir tree. What is the meaning of sand bank? Here they have given a small hill made of sand. Now, my dears, who said this? Mrs. Rabbit, the mother. Now, my dears, said old Mrs. Rabbit one morning, you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Now, run along and don't get into mischief. What is the meaning of mischief? It is being naughty. Don't be naughty. I'm going out. Then old Mrs. Rabbit took a basket and her umbrella and went through the wood to the baker's shop. So where did she go? The mother. She went to the baker's shop. What is the meaning of wood? It is like a small forest. Lot of trees around, that is called wood. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little bunnies. The rabbits also are called bunnies. Went down the lane to gather blackberries. So, where did all 3 rabbits go? To collect blackberries. However, Peter was very naughty. Naughty means they don't listen to elders, any instructions. They will be mischievous. They will be do all kind of things and get into trouble. That is called naughty. So who was naughty? Peter is very naughty. Ran straight away to Mr. McGregor's garden. What did Mama say? Don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. But what did this Peter do? As soon as Mama left, he went straight to the garden and squeezed under the gate. Squeezed means a small hole inside that you just push yourself by force. That is called squeezed under the gate. First, he ate some lettuce and some beans. Then, that is after that, he ate some radishes. Then, feeling rather sick, he went to look for some parsley. Parsley means it is like pudina, mama gives pudina, coriander leaves, curry leaves, like that. A leafy herb. Because he has eaten too much, he wants to eat the herb. Round the end of cucumber frame, cucumber everybody knows, isn't it? You like to eat it raw or in the salad. Cucumber frame is like wooden structure used for growing cucumbers. Should he meet but Mr. McGregor? After eating all this, when he was going looking out for this parsley, and whom did he come across? Mr. McGregor. Mr. McGregor was on his hands and knees planting young cabbages, but he jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling out, "Stop, you thief!" like that. He was running after Peter. Peter was most dreadfully frightened. He was very frightened. He rushed all over the garden, for he had forgotten the way back to the gate. He don't know how to escape from Mr. McGregor. He lost one of his shoes among the cabbages and the other shoe among the potatoes. After losing them, he ran on four legs. So, as long as he was wearing shoes, maybe two legs, now on four legs, he was running very fast. He might have got away if he had not run into gooseberry net. What's the meaning of gooseberry net? Net used to stop birds from stealing gooseberries. So there was a net. What happened? He ran into a gooseberry net and got caught by the large buttons on his jacket. So though he ran through the gooseberry, he could have escaped, but he could not escape because of his large buttons in his jacket. It was a blue jacket with brass buttons, quite new. The jacket was very new, quite new. Peter gave himself up for lost and shed big tears. Here, what's the meaning of this? He gave himself up for lost. That means uh, thought that he would never be free again. He thought, that's all, finish, it's my end, that Mr. McGregor is going to come and kill me. He was thinking like that. So, what happened? He got caught because of the large buttons in his jacket. It was a blue jacket, and Peter gave himself up for lost and shed big tears. He was sitting and crying. Mr. McGregor came up with a sieve which he intended to use to catch Peter, but Peter wriggled. So the wriggled W, it's silent, you don't read it, okay, children? R-I-G-G-L-E-D, wriggled. But when you write, you have to write W, okay? Peter wriggled out just in time, leaving his jacket behind him. So he already lost his shoes, now his jacket also. Now what is the meaning of sieve? Means a tool used for straining solids from liquid. The best example I can give you is Mama makes tea, chaya. What happened? She strains. That is called sieve. Now, intended means planned. He rushed into the tool shed and jumped into a can. It would have been a beautiful thing to hide in if it had not had so much water in it. So he ran into the tool shed. He wanted to jump into a can. But what was there in the can? Water. So what happened to him? Mr. McGregor was quite sure that Peter was somewhere in the tool shed, perhaps hidden underneath a flower pot. He began to turn them over carefully, looking under each. But what happened? Peter sneezed. Ouch! Like that he sneezed. Mr. McGregor was after him in no time. Oh, now he knows where he is hiding. So he started to chase him. He tried to put his foot upon Peter. He wants to catch Peter by stepping on him, who jumped out of a window, upsetting three plants. So when he from the can, he got into the water. No, there was water in the can. On the inside that can, he jumped. From there, he wants to jump out of a window. When he was doing that, how many plants? Three plants he spoiled. The window was too small for Mr. McGregor and he was tired of running after Peter. He went back to his work. Peter sat down to rest. He was out of breath and trembling with fright and had no idea which way to go. He forgot it's a very big garden. He don't know which way to go out of the garden. Also, he was very damp. Damp means wet with sitting in that can. After a time, he began to wander about, looking all around. So after a while, he just came out and he was looking around the garden. He found a door in a wall, but it was locked, and there was no room for a fat little rabbit to squeeze underneath. Then he tried to find his way straight across the garden, but he became more and more puzzled. Puzzled means he was wondering, he was confused like. He came to a pond where Mr. McGregor filled his water cans. A white cat was staring at some goldfish. She sat very, very still. That means not moving at all, like a statue. Peter thought it best to go away without speaking to her. So, what Peter was doing, he is already searching for the way to get out of the garden. So, what is doing? Peter thought it best to go away without speaking to her. He doesn't want to speak to the cat. He had heard about cats from his cousins, Benjamin Bunny. So, little Benjamin Bunny has already told him now about the cats. He went back towards the tool shed, but suddenly, quite close to him, he heard the noise of a hoe. What is a hoe? A gardening tool with a long handle. He heard about the sound scratch, scratch, scratch. Oh, it was Mr. McGregor hoeing onions. That means like making a hole in the soil and planting onions. Like that is called hoeing. His back was turned towards Peter, and beyond him was the gate. So, Peter was standing behind Mr. McGregor. Peter started running as fast as he could go along a straight walk behind some blackcurrant bushes. Mr. McGregor caught sight of him at the corner, but Peter did not care. He slipped underneath the gate and was safe at last in the wood outside the garden. Lovely story, isn't it? So, I want you all to read and enjoy. The next class, we will be writing the classwork as well as the book exercise. Have a good day, children. Bye.